Hi guys, Scatlink here. Welcome to my modding showcasing sub-series, Hats Off to You, a series of which we try out community-created hats, costumes, functions, singular levels, full chapters, or time rifts created by the Hat in Time fan community via the Steam Workshop. This will also include any challenge roads of which will have their own video dedicated to earning ourselves a trophy, of which would otherwise be permanently missed. The last challenge road was Mario Galaxy themed, and technically this is a continuation, hence why I'm wearing the hat. But why I'm not the mustachioed plumber and I have red hair instead? Well, I want to keep the red in the colour scheme, but I didn't want a red costume. So I'm going with one of the red hair dyes that we got recently, and I'm using the sprint hat that is, well, I'm using this loadout basically, just for a little bit of difference. But yeah, the reason being why we're not going to be playing as Mario this time is because of the first level in this group of levels, which, by the way, Groovin to the Moon, once again, for some reason is not loading its thumbnail in this menu, but it does in all levels / time rifts. It's a bit weird, that. But one of the major problems with, one of the main reasons why we're not allowed to play as Mario is because of the Great Gravity Maze. Hat Kid enters a strange maze in search for timepiece, right where the right side up might sometimes be upside down. In short, it's a 3 to 5 minute level revolving around the concept of shifting gravity. No enemies or hazards, and your moveset is limited to just running, jumping, double jumping, and crawling. There's no momentum. The level uses a specially set up player, so if you're on a BoKid save file or using custom mod player characters, it may make you look glitchy, but it should still be playable. So if I'm going to be playing as Mario, the last die that I had as Hat Kid would be applied. It's a bit weird, so just for general purposes and to not bug anything out, I'm just going to be playing as Hat Kid, which is kind of interesting actually, because the thumbnail does show BoKid, but it's not compatible with BoKid, and of course you can't update mods while they're within a challenge road. It removes the challenge road tag, and therefore it breaks mods. But there's something else that I learned about how challenge roads order the levels, of which I'll cover when I mention the third level of this. This mod is not affiliated with Super Ink Link's Circus of Gravity Insanity, nor is it nearly as spectacular as Ink's level, which was the first level in the previous challenge road. So you can see where the thematics are coming from. The community is having a bit of a Mario Galaxy renaissance within a Hat in Time. It's kind of interesting. I mean, it kind of fits with the space theme and all that. I also just had an idea about how I would like to tackle the technical side of gravity shifting in a Hat in Time, and this is the end result. By Abelix, sounds like a character straight out of Asterix. Shout out to Gamer Grimm for so diligently making all these Hat Mod showcase videos. Well, I'm doing that as well, not to toot my own horn, but I do Hat Mod showcase videos, and this just happened to show up in a challenge road. So, here we are. Let's keep a Hat in Time alive for many more years to come. To be fair though, the challenge roads need to end. I hope it ends on 64, that would be so fitting. Because we're on 61 right now. And finally, thank you to Gigilfash? I don't know. There's many ways you could pronounce that, and I have no idea what the right pronunciation is, so I just said them all. For the thumbnail art. Awesome work as always. So, that's kind of a thing. Next up is the Space Void Rift by M-Cube, a familiar name. Hat Kid found a time rift above a black hole when she was on her way home to her home planet. For some reason I'm having a big trouble in reading that particular line. She of course decided to explore it in search of the timepiece. This map was made for the Hat called Space Jam of 2021, so it's quite an old one. Thanks to Sammy for helping me understand vector math in Hat in Time, or just in Unreal Engine 3, unless it's a specific thing used for a Hat in Time, then fair enough. Map music is from Mass Effect Trilogy Extended Galaxy Map Theme. If you haven't played the game, oh, they haven't played that game, but maybe someday. Update now contains a speedrun Death Wish. I wish I never saw that, but I'm not going to play that, because last time I did a speedrun Death Wish, and I did make it in time, the counters still continued to count during the winning animation, and I went just a second over, and I'm not happy about it. I'm still salty about that, and I don't care for it. So I'm going to be skipping on that, thank you very much indeedy. Now this is the level that a lot of people actually had a lot of trouble with in this challenge road, and kind of soured the first 2 levels for them. But if you can get past this level, you're basically in the clear, because Groovin to the Moon is pretty chill. But Groovy Space Station, however, gives you Donkey Kong Country Returns and Tropical Freeze vibes with the rocket. But this is a pretty big level, the main level of this, I would say, by, once again, Super Inklink. DJ Grooves is fallen behind in his next annual Bird Movie Award competition, so he decided to pull out the biggest stunt ever, cashing in on all those sci-fi space films. The conductor, however, is infuriated with this new competition to compete against, and seeks to shut down the operation at all costs, and needs Kid's help to do so wherever she wants to or not. Okay, this is a little bit of false advertising. It specifies it's a 2D level where Kid infiltrates the space station and decides to go out with a blast, much to Grooves' dismay. Now, that technically is correct, but there are some general 3D platforming segments to break up those 2D segments, and the 2D segments are ironically enough the hardest part of the level, much to the player's dismay. As you may notice. But honestly, it is a good level once you get it down. My recommendation is play the level outside of the challenge road first, so that you can learn it, so that you can get better. Practice makes perfect after all, and I will admit the hitbox is a little bit on the janky side. Death Wish to come soon, so there is no Death Wishes at the moment, but there's quite a lot of special thanks here once again. Cave Spider for the 2D camera scripts, so for the camera angles and all that. Instigator for the original rocket script, so for the control of the rocket itself for those particular 2D segments. Goes to them. Sultanas Orcanas for epic new remixes, mainly because the original soundtrack that was used was from Donkey Kong Country Returns and Tropical Freeze. They needed to be swapped out, but the music, although being remixes of Hat in Time music, really gives you that swing that invokes those very games. And honestly, it's better for it. Original music, remix of the original, that invokes what it replaced. Amazing. Ultra Boo for a very special model. Hoot Owl for voice acting. Now, I will admit, the voice acting does need to be turned up quite a bit because it is quiet. You may not even be able to hear it. Alabra for mod, icon, and playtesting. Napar, Epic Yoshi Master, and S-Pop for playtesting. Now, two more things I need to make mention about this level, actually. There is a Rift token to collect, but I'm not going to be collecting it because I don't know how to make all the DJ Grooves icons to spawn, and there's 7 to collect in the level. And I sometimes get 4, sometimes I only get 2. I can't figure out where or when or how you're supposed to spawn them to collect them. Some of them are just there. Some of them I don't see until it's too late. And sometimes it's not even there when I go for another round. So I'm going to pass up on that because I think you have to play the level basically perfectly. But there's also 2 stickers which I will be covering. And the other thing I wanted to make mention is this is when I learnt in the comments of this mod is how the challenge roads are actually coupled together. Gears for Breakfast just add the tag and it forms a challenge road. That's it. Like, they give a certain amount of levels the tag. That's the challenge road for that specific period of time, as long as they don't get updated and they lose the tag. Otherwise, it makes a false challenge road where you get an erroneous additional trophy if you beat it with the reduced version. We've had that before with Challenge Road 14. That's the first one that I make mention because that was also when the mod compilation came out, that you were able to basically compile the original, which is very cool. But regardless of that, what I learned is that the order of the levels within the challenge road are determined by when the mod was created or first uploaded to Steam Workshop. So, the reason why this level is in 3rd out of 4, instead of like at the start where, you know, it wouldn't be so big of a problem to get back to it if you were struggling, hence why I said learn the level outside of the challenge road and then play the challenge road when you know what you're doing, which is what I have done, because otherwise you'll have to keep playing the first 2 levels again. And you don't really want to be playing the first 2 levels again. So, you want to make sure that you actually learn how to play the level before you go in. That is why it's in 3rd. You can't get mad, that's just how it's programmed. Still doesn't explain why most of the thumbnails, until a certain point, were always displayed in reverse, like it was being read by the Japanese. It was a bit weird there. Because it's not a Japanese game. And finally, sorry for the cuts, because I actually forgot about that point as I got to it, so, you know, cuts, whoop-de-doo. Groovin to the Moon by Pasta Pillows. Originally for the Purple Rift modding mapping contest in 2018, I decided to shelf the project so I could learn more about 3D modelling. Features many assets modelled completely from scratch, and also co-op compatible. Also features a completely new Time Hat Flair modelled by Pasta Pillows themselves. And it's findable within the Rift Roulette, so we'll have to keep on rolling to see if we can get that. I have no tokens at the moment, and we can get a maximum of 5 tokens, but I'm only going to get 4, 1 for every timepiece, because I'm not going to be able to get what I said, being the 7 DJ Grooves icons in the previous level. This is my second map released. Feedback is always welcome. Average completion time, roughly around 10 minutes. With that, keep in mind for Groovy Space Station, as we mentioned already, let us begin! So, I'm not going to lie, when it came to the third level, I had to do it quite a few times, but there is a couple of skips you can do on the way to the timepiece in this level, if I can pull it off. Just in case you missed it in the mod description, your movement in this mod is very limited. Just moving, double jumping, and crawling, no dives or runs or any hat abilities, you will not need them, don't worry. Unfortunately, it puts me to my basic hat, which is why I wanted a bit of a red design on Hat Kid. Which, to be fair, she looks really good with red hair, I'm not going to lie to you. I would like to have the Mario hat, that's why I had that before I entered, but unfortunately, nope, goes to the default, your basic hat. You also have no momentum, so you can run and stop on a dime to make precise landings a bit easier. It's not going to be anything too hard, don't worry, maybe just a bit confusing. Good luck, you'll need it! And you can kind of see that there's a bunch of rifts within this rift. We've got some bouncy mushrooms here, but yeah, we can't wall run or climb ledges. And sometimes hitboxes can be a little bit janky. Like, this doesn't look like it's working correctly, but don't worry, it is. It's acting as a stepping stone for now. But sometimes when you're against these, like, stairs, you won't actually climb up and you'll hit, like, an invisible wall or something. It's a little bit weird on how it works. But if we touch one of these rifts... Way! We're now walking on the walls. And yes, I'm holding down, I'm holding up. Because on how they've programmed movement in this level, they made it so it actually makes sense as to which way you're facing. Again, not as impressive as Gravity and Insanity by Super Ink Link in the last Challenge Road, the first level of it. But at the same time, even though that was a lot more smooth and dynamic, you would basically be going left when holding right when upside down. So it wasn't exactly the best. This kind of remedies that, but also nerfs you a lot. Because if we could wall climb, I could just skip to that one right now, but unfortunately I cannot. So we need to follow this round. Climb up here. And this is what I was saying about, like, hitboxes being a little bit weird. Yeah, for some reason I can't jump up this one, although I was against here when I was jumping and climbing perfectly fine. So you just got to be a little bit away from the edge in order to actually jump. Oh, here we go. Now, if only I could somehow crawl through this gap and do a bit of a skipperino, but unfortunately, that's not happening. There's a gate there, but also a button. Unfortunately, we can't reach the button. That's a big one up there, but I'm pretty sure that just changes the gravity. It doesn't do anything special. Crawl through here. So it's basically more like just a puzzle box than anything. Like, make sure you know where you're going. Touching the one on the left, as in Hat Kid's left, our right. This one over here. We already touched that one, so we'll just be doing a lap at that point. So we want to touch this one, so then we can get to this mushroom and make our way back round. Which is kind of annoying, but it's how you got to get through. Don't think we want to go down this way, do we? Or is it? No, we don't want to do that. We want to go this way. I'm having trouble again, because I was too close to the edge. Do this. Hit this button. As I said, there's no collectibles in any of these levels except for Groove's space station, so we need to wait for that. Yep, it just changes gravity. We'll just ride it and build up momentum. It's the only time we have momentum. It just tosses us down, which is the forces of changing gravity on a dime. Hit this, make your way around the gears, fall down here, otherwise you won't be able to do anything. A button. A timepiece is activated in the center room. Oh, happy days. Right, so if we can be clever enough, you need to touch that. Don't worry about the camera, it's just being flashy. Do not go through the gap with momentum. What I want to try and do is after touching the rift to change gravity, when I go through this little gap, I want to see if I can angle myself to this one above here. If not, I'm going to have to do a full lap around. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do! And that just skips us going for another lap around the level. That's the only cheese I know how to do in this level, if you can pull that off. Obviously, we've got to play this level again. If it counts as a rift, we'll get a rift spin. I didn't get a spin for that. Interesting. So that actually doesn't count as a rift. Obviously, I've got to play this level again outside of the challenge road, and I might get another spin. Well, that was a pleasant landing. Now, before we even move, despite the luminescent whiteness of these blocks, doesn't it not look like chocolate on what vanilla ice cream? It looks so delicious. Which is funny as well, because I just had a Ben & Jerry's. And, we've got floaty jumps. So, big jumps are going to be had here, which is quite nice. Boost ring. You can see what I mean by, like, this do feels like Mario Galaxy, but not as much. Not as much as the previous challenge road, at the very least, but it is quite nice. Maybe I should go for some luminescent costumes for this, but I wanted to keep it simple, but have some red incorporated into the design, as I mentioned, so... Ooh. We got UFOs shooting through the asteroids! Run! Maybe we can get out of range. Yep, we're good. Also, the low polyness of these meteorites makes it quite easy to land on them, honestly. I do appreciate that. Let's get into the ring. Again, no collectibles, we just got a platform through. Alrighty. Use the space jump floatiness in order to get up. And we've got some climbing to do. That'll do. Let's go for a double jump first and then jump back. There we go. Pointing us going further up. Got a nice strip here. Getting launched. Up, up, and away! Jump again, just for the extra boost that we need. Now, this one's a little bit panicky. There's a UFO in those rocks, and it's going to start shooting us. So if we can make a good jump over here, and just basically jump from corner to corner like this, we can just dash right into these rings and move on. Make sure you don't continue moving to push yourself too far. You don't want to head to Hat Kid's ship over there. That's just kind of, you know, set dressing for the level itself. I don't think I need to... No, I do need to move forward just a bit. Okay. Keep your double jump for safety. That's... Considering the floatiness, that it gives you really good recovery in this level. Also, I haven't taken any hits yet, so I don't need any of these ponds, which is very nice. Double jump again. Climb up here. Grab the ledge. Do it again. Once again, don't need to go any higher, although someone's left in the moat up there, just for bragging rights. Let's climb these nice chocolatey blocks. Also, the negative background looks a bit spooky, but it kind of works with the colour scheme of the level. Dark background with light highlights with the blocks. We will launch ourselves. Again, keep your double jump. It resets every boost. And the double jump will be needed to reach the ring because you'll fall just short. It's also for safety. Right, don't touch anything now. Until you get up top here. Hold forward on the end, double jump toward the block. And there we go. We've got more meteors up ahead that we'll have to hop, skip, and a jump across. Let's not fall off these blocks, please, like in Mario Sunshine. Because they are basically that. I mean, these are also basically secret levels from... Well, I say secret. The a cappella levels. This is a lot more ethereal. Lunging is quite useful. That was a bit buggy. I'm good. I can skip that one and get this one, but I will have to jump on the rest of them to make it. Always aim for the flat sides, if possible. Yeah, I just did that for safety. Probably shouldn't have went, but I'm going for it. There is a big UFO up ahead. That's a problem. Double jump should make it. Grab the ledge. Very nice. This is like the basically final part of the level here. And we got generators. It's like Metalhead from Spyro. The first one. Use the boss to destroy them. I mean, I guess it's also like the Empress in that respect. But it is like a big machine with power pylons that power him. Use this for well, get rid of that. Right, now we want to hit this boost ring. But do not hold forward, because this launched you quite a ways. So just re-angle yourself to land safely with the double jump once again. As soon as he breaks that, try to jump up high so that when you take the ring, you don't collide into a laser and kill your momentum completely. And be sure to jump as soon as this one gets destroyed, because otherwise a few stray lasers will hit you while he's dying. Because there's still a laser there. He managed to get one off when he was poofing out of existence. Right, let's launch our way back over here. The ones to launch you back don't launch you as far as the ones that launch you toward. Just grab one for safety. I don't think I needed it, though. And then we don't touch a button. We just let ourselves get launched high. End of the timepiece. And that's another token if we do it out of the challenge room. Okay, so the gravity level doesn't count as a rift, but the space one does. Interesting, that. And that, ironically enough, we got the Hat Flair, the Time Flair, for Groovin to the Moon, which is the last level of the challenge road. But I didn't get that until after the fact. At least we got it. That's hilarious. And it's a time stop hat. You get those interlaced shades. So I'm going to have to show that off as well. Ah, looking good. I don't even need to show it off. I can just wear it right here. Which is perfect. I like how the Luma spins around when we finish the level. That's quite nice. Just makes it a little bit more special. This looks busy, and certainly not 2D. What is happening here? That'll show you grooves. Start some big space film, eh? I can have trains in space too.
Go on in.
You may want to cause a little bit of chaos too, eh, lassie? It's in your blood. The Luma was like in your head. Yeah, sure, conductor. I'll watch your little, grandkids. Thankfully, that's not a little side quest that we need to manage, so we won't bother with that.
My favorite.
Conductor breaks something and he makes me repair it. Sorry there, Jontron. Got some posters here. I mean, we are in the studio once again.
It appears that the current trend of cinematic production in this establishment is following the science fiction category. Tell me, fellow space invader, what is your favorite movie within this range of genre?
I don't think I can type that in. That's the best I can do. Oh, whoops.
I do believe that is referred to by the worldwide internet as a bad opinion.
You don't like Back to the Future? How rude! Not talking to you ever again.
Get lost! Yeah, get lost!
Sure. Alright, fair enough. So we're going to have to go around, but we're acrobatic enough to do that. Be careful that you don't have your floaty jumps from the previous level. We're back to normal gravity here. Because that may throw you off. Also, little conductor baby on the edge here, and a bunch of birds, which I can't kick off. Only the Mafia we can, apparently, and only you we can talk to.
Yes, become one of them. Assimilate, replicate, become owl.
Sure. Right. We need to grab power ponds in order to move on, but there is something else that we can grab if I just stand right here real quick and raise the camera up. Something on that no entry sign, so we'll deal with that later. But right now, just for general purposes, I want to come over here, talk to you. Boss told us to keep an eye on whatever the peck's in this field. You said it was some dazzling prop or something.
Take it easy, will ya?
Knowing him, it would just caused the entire set to collapse like last time. We don't talk about last time. Sure. Once I get behind you guys. Is what I was leading to.
What?
Well, we're not really good guards, are we?
Awesome.
We're so gamified for this.
Get out of here, dude.
Stop rubbing it in. We're supposed to stand in place at a doorway. Give us a break. To be fair, if you ran a train to a space station, I doubt we'd be able to do much at this point. I just like this dude's voice clip.
Get out of here, dude.
Get out of here, dude. You mean dudette. Because we are the little diva. I want to come back over this way. I want to start off, first of all, on top of the conductor's train, which looks very odd. Whoops, I did not want to touch the flames. That was a boo-boo. It's fine. I want to make my way back down this way, and I want to jump on the platform that comes out here. And I need to crouch, otherwise I'll get pushed off. There's ever so slightly more than enough power ponds for this 3D segment. There's 2 3D segments, 2 2D segments. But I want to obviously get what I can. Just so I can get them all. Not that it's going to do much good, because I, once again, mentioned already, I don't know where or how to spawn all of the DJ Groove icons in order to get the Rift token. So, but it's quite obvious somewhere it will be. So I'll obviously mark it when we get to that point. In case if you guys can figure out where they are. I assume they will show up if you do the level perfectly. But considering the sometimes the lack of depth perception on some elements on the 2D area, and then how the camera is framed in the 3D area to the hitbox that you're flying with, yeah, it's very janky, and why people have a bit of trouble with it. Now, I can only assume that wasn't intended, and it may be patched at a later point, but it is a general criticism that I've seen in the comments of this level. Also, I'm not exactly being the best in terms of routing here. My apologies. I also missed a power bomb by coming back down, but I wanted to go through here just to show this, but... Space! Someone's emoting with a space sticker. There was also a baby on that vent. One of the conductor's nephews, which I wouldn't know why you would take them on the train that you're going to be, you know, ramming into a building, but, you know, dude lives hard and fast. The rocket has been revealed! Some pyrotechnics will be messing with once again, but this time we'll be the one riding on top of it, not on my behind. Let's knock that off. Are you kidding me? Are you... You have got to be kidding me. I just barely missed it. Also, if I jump into that rocket, I will actually start the 2D sequence, which we don't want. Also, if you make it to certain checkpoints within the 2D sequence, because there are 2 checkpoints for the first one, there will be additional dialogue, but of course I am limited to only dying twice, with the third knocking me out of the challenge road, and I have to do it all again, so I don't really want to do that. I'll probably have to show them off when I cut back for showing off the, when I'm going, well, not showing off, but going back for the mod Rift token / mod timepiece outside the challenge room. Because obviously I did it on a different file. Space! Space, space! We have a space sticker, and I'm pretty sure if we were to use it, that's the wrong wheel. There it is! Alt Vikings icon in Steam. You know what, I'm going to leave that on, why not? It's just funny. But that's one of 2 stickers here. Also, it looks like my health is pretty low, and thankfully there are a couple of heart ponds in here. But that's actually not going to matter for this sequence, because you're limited to 3 hits, because you're not taking hits yourself. It's the rocket. When you jump on this, you're basically committed. You can't get off. So how do we start this thing? Mash jump to kickstart the rocket. It begins! Now, obviously, I have practiced this, even though that was over a week ago, because I just haven't been having the chance to get to this. And you can see what I mean by the 2D aspect with the 3D perception could be a bit of a problem, as well as all the neon lights. The turning is a bit awkward. And you have a little bit of a big hitbox, mostly for pawn collecting. The magnet badge does nothing here, which is why I haven't equipped it. But make sure you grab the heart pawns because you are limited to 3 hits, not 4. But they do recover the health bar. I do love the music here, though. I'm not going to lie to you. It, again, gives you Donkey Kong Country 4 and 5 vibes. And again, I'm not worrying about the DJ Groove tokens, so let's not worry about that. I hit a checkpoint there. If we were to die, we would spawn back in that little area where there is something that we can interact with. He says something different every time that we're flying through, and he's not happy. But that's not our problem. There goes our ship. Why can we not just ride our own ship? I wasn't ready for that. That was a bad move. This is bad. Now it gets a bit complicated. Not only we've got objects to dodge, now we've got DJ Groove shooting us. What was I supposed to do there? And oh, I almost died there, but thankfully DJ Grooves blew it up. There's bombs everywhere. I almost got hit there. Did not get that pawn. And I also missed a DJ Grooves icon. You see how crazy it can get. Sometimes even if you dodge something correctly, you might just get shot by Grooves. And unfortunately, I couldn't grab the heart pawn there, which is a bit of a problem. So we lost a life, even though I only took 2 hits instead of 3. We can sit down and chill for a moment before we hop back in. I've got a note here. I guess I'll read it since we're here. Note to future self. Return stolen props to the conductor before he notices Grooves. I think he's noticed. The date says 2 years ago. I think he's bloody noticed. I think he took that guy's wallet. Back to the Future. But yeah, that's literally all that's in here to interact with, other than sitting on a chair, of course, just to, you know, have a bit of a chill before you re-engage into the 2D segment. Right, let's try again. You're so rude! Again, though, having the planet in the background really doesn't help. It just makes the background a bit too busy when you're trying to dodge some of this stuff. I keep hitting that thing. Right, I've got to go up a bit. I'm going to have to follow the ponds here for safety. Thankfully, they do kind of guide you, so that is quite useful. Okay, I shouldn't have went low there. I got hit by a rocket. Oh no, another rocket! I didn't even see it! I was heading for the heart pawn. Oh, this is bad. Well, I'm not going to be able to show the other dialogue piece. I will have to play all the way back here again, because I will have to go through the previous levels. Maybe I should have given this another go before starting recording. Ah well, it's content in it. It's not like I'm throwing on purpose. It's also just the hitbox. Like, you cut the cars so close there. I mean, I am out of the set. You're the one chasing me. For peck's sake, that meteorite. Oh god, why? I don't want to deal with you. You're just going to make things harder for me. No! No! I dodged the rocket and got hit by the small one again! Grooves, why? Oh, this is how it first happened when I was playing the level. Right, I'm going to have to play back there. Give me a bit. Speed up. Oh, I found more cheese. Well, that speeds things up a little bit. Oh, I missed it! No! Damn it! That's annoying. Right, so what we're going to have to do now, because I missed the cheese, so we're back to not speeding up here, because I've got to show the normal way of doing things. Gotta do this one. Bounce up this way. And then we can just fall... Well, it looks like we can fall into it. But I don't think you can. You can jump into it through here, though. If you miss that, though, you're going to have to make the gravity normal and jump back into it that way. Right, back to speed up. Yeah, so we're back on the rocket, back to the part where we failed. I'm going to be quiet for the majority, but honestly, the first two parts of this entire rocket segment are the toughest. So just enjoy the music, I guess. I didn't fall for that time. Right, nope. I knew it. As soon as I saw it, I knew it. Just because they're not on my current plane doesn't mean that they still can't hurt me. Up, damn it! This is the worry, this is the worry, this is the worry. Because of all the explosions, there was a DJ Grooves token there. You can't see what you're doing. No, oh, I almost flew into that. That was bad. Okay, he's gone. Ooh, I think that's a checkpoint right there. Well, no, after we dodge some of these gears, but it's pretty simple here. Again, because of all those explosions, ride the middle gear slot. There we go. There's a heart pond to guide you as well. Just keep near the middle. You'll be fine here. I never get hit there, although it looks like quite close. Remember, you can't move left or right. You're always at the same point, so you have the most reaction time, which doesn't really help with the steering radius, but once we get past these gears here, we should be at the second checkpoint, and therefore in the clear. Just got to dodge some of these fire geysers. I like to ride high, personally, just for the best clearance. There's a hop on there. I didn't get it, unfortunately, so I am starting at this checkpoint. You can talk to the squid if you respawn, but honestly, this is the third and easiest segment of this first 2D segment. So yeah, it's like 3 segments within a segment. But honestly, this is the easiest because it's the easiest to dodge. Just go a little bit low here for the wrecking ball. Don't worry about the 2 big gears here. They look like they'll get you, but they won't. Then we ride up high. Follow the ponds here. What? I should have been cleared there. That's not ideal. Right, we just got to dodge DJ Grooves now. There's a heart pond coming up. I can grab that in a second. As long as you take it wide here, you should be okay. Right, he'll be riding high now, so we got to stay low. Basically, hug the gears, but don't touch them. Except for one point where, when we do go up a slope, we want to ride high so that the rocket goes underneath us. This is the point. Now we follow it back down again. We got a hop on for that. Stay loading. Right, now, wait until he gets ready for ladies and gentlemen. We pull up. Full tilt. There we go. He blows up. There will be a DJ Grooves token down below, which is if you do not pull up as soon as you grab it, you will get clipped by this lava fall, and one-hit kill. I shouldn't really go for it, but we'll try. There, I lived. So I did miss some dialogue there, but I'll show that off now, I guess. I'll clip it in because I'll go do it when I'm getting the mod rift token for the mod timepiece outside the challenge road. If we respawned from the checkpoint, this is what we would have with the squid. What's up, Spark? Haven't you currently felt maybe? Static. After the whole cruise ship incident, I got relocated to the powering an entire space station. Maybe bubble out of this world, like the mighty strokes now. It likes the galaxy. Don't maybe sound baby. Show us your little star, Spark. And that's all the jokes he has. Yeah, I could do space jokes and he does just the one. Alright, we're back. It just made more sense to clip it in there. Because that would have been the previous checkpoint. But we're safe again in another 3D segment. You can take full damage though, and there's no ponds to grab. So I'm going to swap this for the hover badge. But I'm also going to take Fast Hatter off for projectile badge. And you'll see why in a minute. Do not touch the fire, by the way. That will, in fact, hurt you. You've got 2 heart ponds on this side of the boxes. 2 heart ponds here for health. And yes, we're back to our usual health. We're not on a rocket, so we're not down to a maximum of 3 hits. Big old rocket here. It'd be really fun to steer a ship like this. I've driven one spaceship, so I know them all, right? That's not how that works. It doesn't seem powered at the moment, though. Maybe there's a way to activate it. I should have let the camera pan. There's a switch right there. But it's a mess of cables. And that's only for one of these nodes. We have 4 particular puzzles to solve in order to activate the rocket. So, first of all, we want to go this way with these sandbags. Very simple button. Hit the button. Cannon here. We'll take that real quick. Nice. And you can see why I wanted to put on the hover badge, the no fall badge, so that we don't, you know, take full damage, because that's quite a drop. And if we've already used our double jump and lunge, we'll be a bit screwed. Especially since, to clear this gap, they want you to... I do have my hook jump badge on. Yeah, there it is. There's the prompt. This fan's annoying because of the camera angle it gives you. How are you supposed to see where you're going to jump here? I can't turn the camera left and right. So what you want to do is that when you see the area you want to jump to, you want to let go. But personally, I want to go for the bags over here. Because then I can hookshot this, which is a lot better for angling my jump. So now I can head over this way safely and see what I'm doing. I'm going to hit every single one of these panels here. This mess of cables that I previously mentioned. Very haphazardly put. But if we activate them all, hopefully things will not blow up. I'm missing one. Oh, wow. It was at the top. Fair enough. We got it, though. We can get out of here. Not like that, but thank you, hover badge. Again, why I put it on. I'm just going to do this. That'll do. Right, head over this way. Don't think I was in range to hookshot there, so I wasn't going to risk it. I'm going to bounce on one of these. Double jump, lunge, hookshot. Nope, it did not work. Thank you, hover badge. I went to the wrong stack of crates. I want to take this one. Don't need to take the cannon again. We can just bounce up these sandbags. And I didn't have no bonk. So I fail again. Fun times. I haven't taken any damage away. My health is not on the screen, so I'm good. It's just debating it because there were heart ponds there. You know what? I'm just going to take the cannon again. It just guarantees I get up there. Honestly, in this level, it's best to just play it safe, especially within the challenge road, so... And of course, I'm not going to cut anything out, because I do not want to be accused of cheating! Except for Pink Sunrise, that was an exception to the rule. There we are, hear the ping, and that's when we hookshot. That's all I wanted to do. Honestly, that fan is terrible. Right, we want to go left first, because we can easily bounce over these fire guys, there's no problem. And we've got a massive gear there, it looks like that we could ride up it. Guess what? It is not solid at all. My head went right through that, in fact, I can... Why did I try doing that? I just wanted to show that it wasn't so... I'm going to speed up. There we go, that's all I wanted to show. It's not solid, and I could have just done that by hitting the switch up above first, then climbing down, but I didn't think to do that, and I had to basically do that 1.5 more times. We do a Rainbow Ride red coin, blue coin climb there, and boop the button. That one's now done. It's nice and colour-coded as well. Honestly, it is just more safer to clip through this and slide down. So you don't have to try and make a blind jump because you can't see what you're doing. At least then that way you can jump over the fire this way, keep it in a 2D plane, that kind of works out well for me. And then we can jump on these ones, which are not exactly the best thing to deal with. I should be able to make that. There we go. Oh, I can see outside a little bit there. Not intended to do that, but you know, cameras can be a little bit weird. Flip that switch! Aha! The rocket is now activated. The second 2D section is now available to us. It's a lot shorter and a lot easier than the first two segments of the first section, but I'm going to take a little bit of a chill break and just sit here for a minute, because this level is very tough, and the secrets that it holds are pretty mean, but they're also kind of cool. And in this particular level, there is one that is in this very segment, which means if you want to try and find it, you want to find it now before you have to commit to doing it all again. And unfortunately, this camera pan doesn't really help us with anything if we're trying to ponder and rack our brains. However, there is a door here that we can't open. But I did clip the camera into the wall very slowly. There is an outside. There is a banister. So let's try and hug this wall, see what we can find. Hello! Oh. Well, thank you, Luma, for pointing it out. In fact, the Luma, unlocked by playing the 2 death wishes that were tied to Gravity and Sanity in the previous challenge road, can actually help here. Because look, he's not with me. But if I walk away... Yeah, the Luma's kind of disappeared, but it comes back. Disappears into the wall. I think this was intended. And that might be why it was included within this challenge road, right after the previous one. If you went out your way for the death wishes, which is what I did, because it gives you something pretty awesome. And they weren't that difficult either. Let's shoot that dude. Through the wall! There we go! It's nice that... Mafia came all the way out to space, so Child could not kick Mafia off ledge one more time. But Child still kicked Mafia! Actually, I lasered you for you now. Mafia should be very angry, but Mafia is also impressed at Child for finding Mafia here. So, Mafia leave gift. The gift being... Mafia kick. Let's have a little listen to that now, shall we? It's the noise when you actually hit them. I was kind of half hoping for the Goofy scream, but that would be a bit too on the nose. So you can play that noise whenever you want to. But personally, I prefer... Lovely. Didn't need a... Ha! I didn't take any fall damage, but she didn't pull out the umbrella either. That's interesting. Well, I don't need that anymore, so I can need my fast hat back. And I don't need that now, so I can... Yeah, put no bonk back on. I prefer no bonk. We have a heart pond for general purposes. Little snack before we leave. Let's hop back up here and finally get onto this rocket and finish this level. Let's leave in style. Just like Buzz with the rocket attached to his back. Only we're inside it. Now, be warned, the turn radius of this thing is even worse than the first one. So you have to take really wide turns to get yourself in the clear. But it's very short. Oh, the epicness! Nope. That's all we're using. Another bloody rocket. It's fine. Yep, the rocket was just a prop, so it didn't exactly launch itself properly. Unlike all of them, so we had to launch ourselves with a missile. You know what this kind of reminds me of? The paper plane minigame from WarioWare. But you can see that the turn radius is not good at all. But it's fine. Get past the asteroids, the struts, and then head to the middle. I did not grab a single one of those, that's annoying. But it's okay, because all we got to do is dodge these massive rockets. Just veer left incredibly hard. And then follow this one as well to the middle. And we're basically done. That's it. I told you that the second phase is a lot easier. Let's keep going! Outrun him! Oh boy.
Goodbye, cruel world.
What contraption was he using? And it weren't my fault this thing was in the way. Oh my god, what have we done? Sure. The size of this knife, man. Also, don't jump into his cockpit. There's a fire geyser in there. Couple of heart bonds in case you need them. Maybe there were challenge road stuff. I don't think you can actually take damage by avoiding out here. So I'm just gonna... Yeah, you can't take damage avoiding out here. You can still take full damage if you jump from too high. But yeah, this is where you would get your Rift token if you got all the 7 DJ Groove icons. Well, looks like I didn't grab every Grooves token. Better findings next time. Should be 7 total, probably on the rocket sections. I do know that if I didn't veer fully left on that first rocket and I went right instead, there's one there. There is one that did show up temporarily when we first bumped into Groove shooting rockets, but he has to particularly take out that asteroid on the bottom. There's like one on the wave, and there's also one at the beginning, but for some reason it wasn't showing up for me this time. That one was normally the most consistent one, other than the lava wall one. But yeah, they're the only 3 to 4 that I know of. I don't even know where the rest are. I've never bumped into them. I've never seen them. So I don't know what triggers them to show up. But you've seen, I'm not perfect, and even though I was a little out of practice, I was still able to at least get through, because I'm here. And honestly, we're now in the clear, because the next level is not difficult at all. It's actually quite a fun romp. This level is frustrating, but it is also very good. It just needs a bit of fine-tuning. The hitbox needs a bit of fine-tuning on the rocket sections. The turn radius probably needs to be a bit more... It's smooth, but it just needs to be a bit more sharper. But we gained both of the stickers, we just couldn't get the Rift token. But I do need to come back here once again. Not only to get the clip I just showed you, because I'm going to put it in editing, but also to get my Rift token from this outside the challenge road. Not that I need to keep specifying that. I guess you could say that this timepiece was cracked, we grabbed it, but then it went boom, and we're seeing a previous celebration of DJ Groove's winning a competition.
Good luck, darling.
No worries. Alright, I mean, this is good stuff here. I love this music. So you know the drill. There's no pages to grab. We just grab all of the ponds and we make our way out. So we can just dash around and enjoy ourselves as we platform around. Honestly, I forget when this music plays, but it is such a bop, and it's probably one of my favourite soundtracks of the game. It's quite underrated, and I think it's underrated because it doesn't appear that often, but when it appears, it is a jam, and you just want to break it down, you know? Very swinging. It would be better, though, if it had a bit of a better loop. That's my favourite bit, if that wasn't clear. I missed the pond. It is fine. We have them all on this floor. We can move on. As I said, there's no pages to grab. There's no story to be had. It's just going through the set pieces and just having a grand old time on the moon. Which is well, if I wasn't in mid-jump, I would go... Sorry, I'm terrible. Right, let's clear this area out first, up here, before we take the balloons behind us. Get this one rift pond quickly. And then I want to head back this way. Plenty of heart ponds around. Obviously, you can take damage here to the enemies and voiding out. So, obviously, don't go too cavalier. But honestly, it is just easy platforming, for the most part. So you can just kind of mosey your way around. Grab everything you need. I mean, you don't even need to grab all the rift ponds. You could just move on. There's no collectibles to grab other than that. This is the final level of this challenge road. Obviously, I'm going to do one particular rift spin, but I don't know... Well, you guys would know, because obviously I haven't gone back through the levels yet. I'm still in the challenge road. But this is the bit of the part of the music that doesn't loop well for me. It just kind of like goes into the Mario 3 music. Doom, 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 doom. But now it loops better. I feel like that bit could be trimmed out. It doesn't sound right to me. Yep, that was not being held by that UFO, but it's fine. I backed him anyway. Only 2 more to go already. Let's head over here. I don't even need to take pictures with these penguins. I'm just doing it because it's on the way. Sorry. I'm enjoying the music too much in this level. You just kind of go with the flow in this level. I'm not even joking. But yeah, once you get past the previous level, is pretty much home free. Because you would have better platforming skills than I would at that point. Ready for liftoff, kid? Yep, let's go! For we are now, in fact, in... Alright, I won't do that anymore. But we do have floaty gravity jumps once again. So use that to your advantage in order to get around these set pieces. Or shall I say these props? I mean, same difference, I guess, within the context of Deadbird Studio, but you get what I mean. Let's make a jump for this. I actually missed it. That's annoying. And that's too high for me to grab now. I need to make my way back round. Thankfully, the asteroids do act as hookshot targets, so we can swing back up, which, funnily enough, make us move faster than the anti-gravity zone that we're in, until we let go. I guess we don't have gravity unless we're touching something. Or normal speed, shall I say. Anyway, once you grab that one, then we want to head back round to this way. You kind of want to zigzag your way across to grab everything. I can actually see penguins in these rockets. That was kind of a mistake there. Oh, wait, can I... Nope. I was about to say, can I recover that? But I avoided out. It's fine. Yeah, I was debating, do I want to continue with my jump, but I thought no. Sometimes sprint jumps are not the way to go. Because you will miss out on your double jump, which gives you more distance in the long run. At least I can grab this heart pot this time. This asteroid's top's been smashed. Let's go for this rocket over here. Loop our way back down this way. I do like how it has a bit of the original game's sound from like the title, with a bit of the slight orchestral mix in there. But then there's this bit again. I don't like this part of the music. It kills the vibe for me. I'm just reminded of the Mario 3 slots, honestly. Until the beat comes back, and then it kicks back in. It just takes me out of it. Alright, final floor. sub-level, whatever you want to call it. Head down immediately, down here. Honestly, it is worth your time because these ones are probably the ones out of the way. In fact, I don't actually need to grab any of these, I think. All I need is... Yeah, all I need is 5 to get out of here. And I couldn't stand on that for some reason. Kind of awkward. Excuse me? Let's not have that, please. Let's grab this. Head down here. They're kind of the most awkward ones to get out of the way. I need to do a proper double jump lunge cancel to get up back from here. There's 2 platforms above us, that is fine. I'm going to jump over this way and climb my way back up. Basically going toward the end here. But it is probably the best way to get up here. Grab that one. Let's look behind us. Basically got everything on that side of the map. Let's go in this direction. Make our way to the top. Got a bounce pad here. Oh, I was about to say, what is in the air here? But it looks like it's just a coaster. Can I land on this? Yes, I can. Perfect. 2 rift ponds away from finish. I'm back at full health. Very nice. Hop onto this gear. Ride this one up, which is going very slow. Oh, I did miss one over there. That's fine. We've got to loop back round anyway, so kind of works out. I just couldn't land there for a second. Double jump, lunge, cancel. There we are. Then we can just follow this back round. And we've done it. Done this level 100%. Yeah, I'm not going to make that. So if I veer off in this direction, I can hook shot this asteroid, which act like hooks in this level. Swing in action. I'm going to land on you. Thank you for the boost in a different kind of way. 13 on the finish, 8 after opening the final hatch. There we go. That is Challenge Road 61 beaten. Very space themed and DJ Grooves orientated, especially in the final 2 levels. Very thematic. Challenge done. Ba -ba -da -ba. And I get a spin for my efforts, which is another spin. So we may get the hat, or I may already have it after clipping in the other attempts. That's Easter Bunny? I don't have that yet. Interesting. I know. I would like something else, please. Oh, fine. Why do I not have that yet? I swear I've had that before. I know I have it on my personal file. Basically, you chuck Easter eggs and they explode. Which, you know what? It's almost Easter. We're coming up to April. I can shut that off. Green hair? Or is that just green all over? There are some remixes. I mean, I got the one I was after, which was for this very level. Wait, hang on. There's multiple? I already have this, though! What? I already have this. Interesting. And that's the Challenge Road. As I said, Groovy Space Station being the most time-consuming one. Most challenging. And also most, packed. Except for maybe Groovin to the Moon with its awesome music. But Groovy Space Station has new music, so that's kind of a thing. But yeah, that is the 61st Challenge Road. And we do have the Easter brewing hat, which apparently I never used. But yeah, you just basically chuck exploding eggs. That's basically all that is. But for some reason, I gained this twice. Which is interesting. So I want to take a look inside of my hats here. See if I have 2 copies. I don't. Why did I get that twice? Yeah, I can't go down anymore. Why did I get that twice? I'm about to spend 3 tokens. Am I going to get... We might be debugging here. I might have to uninstall this mod. Because if it's going to keep on eating my tokens, basically, I can't really have that. I don't see it. I'm actually looking for it. I would like that pastel colour. I don't see it again. What the hell happened? Let's have a look at that. Oh! Actually, I think we have a... Well, it may have different hair, to be fair. But yeah, that's very odd. Why did I get... Why did I get the hat twice? I'm liking the colour scheme of the dye, don't get me wrong. I'm just a little bit confused as to... Right, if I get this hat a third time, I might have to uninstall that mod, even though it's a really good mod to have. To be fair, I probably should be uninstalling a ton of mods, but I don't like affecting all my inventory, you know what I mean? So, we had a bit of a mulligan there, unfortunately. I don't know what to say about that, but yeah. I hope you enjoyed that challenge road. This is a long one. That took longer even... I knew that I knew that the space station would take time, but I didn't think it would take as long as it did, because I'm over an hour and a half in recording, so I've got some editing to do. But, hey, it's a bigger one, even though I didn't have to split it into two, because we didn't do additional stuff on top of that. But I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless, so maybe we'll have another challenge road that's not Mario Galaxy themed, because, I mean, this was more of a transition away from it, back to normal Hat in Time stuff, but it's still in the space sort of theme, which I guess makes sense, we're in a spaceship after all. But you get what I mean, it's, still a bit too close to the Mario Galaxy thematics, as we've seen already. But we did get some Donkey Kong Country in there as well, so maybe we'll see more Monkey. Who knows? But, until then, when there's another challenge road, or if I get any requests for mods, I'll see you guys next time.